It has finally happened. After months and months of looking, I have finally gotten a job offer. But some of you thought this would never happen. You know, really, I've been searching for so long with no success. So many interviews. But yeah, I had an in-person interview today and they gave a job offer. And it actually does pay more than my old job from like over a year ago. So that's good. Not much more. It's like 64,000, which it's not great, but you know, I'll take what I can get. And the job itself, oh yeah, I'm playing a Kupo and Excite Bike, or not Excite. Yesterday was Excite Bike. Today, or no, 2 days ago was Excite Bike. But today we're playing Kupo on the F-Zero track. But yeah, it's not the best job. It's another shipyard job. You know, it's an engineering position. And the biggest thing with the shipyard is the parking is terrible. I've actually worked with like the shipyard before, an old job. And yeah, I'm not looking for the parking. But you know, I do need to lose weight. I'm actually pretty overweight right now. I'm guessing the shrimp spots are here. You know, at the end of college, I was like 170 pounds. Oh yeah, there's like a shrimpless shortcut here, I think. And I think I had to hop really early for it. Go for it again next lap. I was like 170 pounds at the end of college. And then, you know, working after college a little bit, you don't really move around a lot. And, you know, I live in America too, you know, food's not the healthiest. And you have to use a car to go everywhere. You know, you can't use a bus, that just doesn't exist. Or any public transport. You know, I hate American city design. I can go to a whole rant on that. Yeah, I've gained a bit of weight. And, you know, I guess working at the shipyard, I probably have to walk a lot to even get to the office. Maybe I can lose some weight. I'll have to go for the shortcut here again. Not very good. Yeah, I've heard like horror stories of people at the shipyard like walking like a mile from where they park to the office. So parking's not gonna be great. And it's a 215.4. Is that my old PB? Oh, it does not. I guess it fell off twice. That's probably why. And the world record is Com OP PSV playing Magikoopa. I've never seen a world record with Magikoopa before. This will be an interesting one. Now, I want to see how they do that shrimpless shortcut. And what cart is this? I don't even know what cart that is. No, I need to sneeze. It's gone. It's gone. Oh, wait. I can't. Oh, they're not taking the boost panels. What the hell? Oh, they went right for the coins. It's interesting. Okay, no snaking. It's interesting. Pretty simple track so far. Honestly, this is pretty doable. Like, not really that much snaking going on. Coins there. Those coins are pretty nice. And then, yeah, use the shroom here. Grind the edge a little bit. Oh, geez, that looks tough. Really? That's the only hard part of the track, it looks like. And oh, you can just hold back in the control stick and just glide all the way to the finish. It's cool. Alright, let's do it. And the guy I was interviewing with, he was up front with, it's like an older building I'm gonna be working at, and oh, I forgot the coins. And he was like, yeah, the AC and heating, it doesn't work that well. It's an old building. So that's gonna be annoying, you know. But like, you know, I'm happy now I got a job, but in a month I'm just gonna be hating working, you know, as always. You know, it's like, my dream is always to do YouTube, and I want to work. Well, YouTube is working, but YouTube's fun. That's the big difference. Let's see. Oh, it's tough. I don't know. Maybe I just need to hop earlier. And I think the only reason I got the job was because I have a security clearance. Let's go for the coins here this time. There we go. 8 coins. I think the world at 7. But yeah, it sounded like they were kind of desperate. Like, well, not desperate. They were taking anyone who had a security clearance, basically. So I think that's kind of why I got the job. Like, they didn't even they asked barely any questions about me. Like, every other interview I've had this year, they're asking like tons of questions. Some are even like grilling me in like technical questions. But this guy, like, he literally didn't even know what college I went to. Like, at the end of the interview, like, he was basically already saying I got the job. He's like, oh yeah, what college do you go to? I'm like, what? It's very strange, but hey man, I got the job. That's all that matters. And now that I've finally got an offer, you know, I want to give some advice for people applying to jobs. You know, I know the job market is tough out there. I think it's harder than it was pre-COVID right now. And before COVID, the job market was already tough. So tougher than that, ugh. You know, let's go here. Oh, it's very wide. Shortcut, shortcut. It's so tough. I want to get it once at least. But yeah, here's Ricky's job application advice. You know, for any aspiring job hunters. I don't know. Maybe you're still in college, you're about to get a job, or maybe you're just looking for another job, you know? No, that's another piece of advice I have. You always want to job hop at least every like 3 years. You can look up the stats online. You will get a much higher salary if you job hop. I can guarantee that. But here's my advice. You want to apply to as many places as possible. Quantity over quality. That is the #1 rule. You know, you can... Okay, wow, that's terrible. You know, you can, like, write a fancy cover letter and spend, like, an hour per application and maybe, like, apply to, like, only, like, 10 places a day. And, you know, your odds of getting each of those jobs are higher. That's true. Like, you know, for your dream job, you know, maybe you want to work at, like, NASA or something. Yeah, you should write, like, a fancy cover letter. But if your goal is just to get a job, you don't really care where exactly or where specific, you don't have like a specific place you want to work at. Just go for quantity, you know? There'll be a lower chance of hearing back from each job, but oh gee, you really gotta take that wide. But you have a higher chance of hearing back from any of them. That's the big difference. Let's go wide here. And, you know, obviously everyone says like the best source of getting a job is a referral. But, you know, if you're like me, you don't really have a referral. And a referral just means like someone who works there. Like, you know, maybe you know the CEO. CEO is your dad or something, you know, it's like an easy job right there. Yeah, referrals are tough to get. My biggest piece of advice for getting a referral would be to, you really want to be close friends with people in college. You know, I think that's one thing I should have worked on better. No, I had friends in college, but none of them were engineering majors. They're all computer science or pre-med majors. Like, I kind of fell in the group of people who weren't in my major at all. So, you know, I can't ask my pre-med friends for jobs, you know? So try to get some friends in your major. That would help a lot if you're, like, still in college. And then... honestly, if you're not in college, I don't know where you get a referral. I mean, that is tough. Just spouting out job bullshit while failing this track over and over. Yeah, I guess if you're trying to switch jobs, maybe you can use like a coworker as a referral or something like that. Yeah, obviously referrals are by far the best way to get a job. It's really like how most people get a job nowadays. And if you don't have a referral, just go for quantity over quality. It doesn't really matter where you apply to, like, or what website, I mean. Oh, I've already got the coins. Whoops. I guess let's get the coins here. I'll go wide this time. Yeah, I'm barely making that. Let's go. Dude! Now, I mainly applied on Indeed, but the best way to apply is you want to go directly to the company website and just apply there. It takes a lot longer, but it ups your chances of hearing back a lot if you apply to the website. You know, this is after referrals, you know. Referrals are like that S-tier way, but below that is the company website. You want to apply there. And if they don't have a company website, you can just like apply on pretty much any site. Like, it doesn't really matter too much. You can use Indeed, Handshake, LinkedIn. I never really used LinkedIn though. LinkedIn's a good way of getting referred. Man, I cannot get that. That's all like the application advice I guess I have. Now, interview advice. This is where I struggle a bit, so take this with a grain of salt. I'm not the best speaker, you know. Like, I can monologue about this Mario Kart track for a bit, but I cannot monologue to save my life about like any engineering topic, you know. I'm not like a technical expert. But my interviewing advice is... hold on. Let's break it a bit. I need to like walk the world record again. They stick it like really tight. Whenever they ask you at the end if you have any questions about the job, I think my go-to questions were, what would my day-to-day routine look like? I think that's a good one. And what's like the biggest challenge I would have with the job? You know, ask stuff like that. You know, you want to sound interested in the job. That's a big thing. You know, if you say you have no questions, they're going to be like, oh, why are we going to bother with moving on to round 2 with this guy if he's not even interested in the job? Oh, that was so close. So you want to sound interested with the job. That's pretty important. Let's go get the coins here again. All right. Yeah, sound interested in the job. You obviously want to dress up if it's in person. Oh yeah, the interview I had today was in person. Oh, it's not guaranteed I actually have the job yet. They still have to do the background check, and you know, I did lie on my resume a bit. Just a bit, you know, I might have lied about working my last job for 3 years instead of 1. So if they catch that, which is unlikely... Oh, dude, that's so close. He's got to take it tight, huh? But it sounds like my security clearance went through. They verified that. But if they somehow verify that I have not worked 3 years, that's not good. And... Oh, what was the time before that? But yeah, it's not guaranteed to have... Ooh, jeez. It's not guaranteed to have the job. It would suck if I didn't, because, you know, I am really out of money right now, and, you know, I want to buy the Switch too. So I kind of need this job. And, yeah. Some other interview... What am I... I'm just going to watch the world record. Okay, I watched the world record, and I do not know what I'm doing wrong still. I'm just going to keep trying until I get it. They get some crazy air in their hop. I just don't know what I'm doing wrong. Maybe they're doing like their mini turbo later. That might be it. Yeah, there's not much more advice I can give like in the interview itself. You know, it really also depends on like what kind of industry you're applying for. You know, just look it up, you know, that's always the best way. But, you know, those questions, I have some good questions. What was the third question I always asked? Man, I forgot. Oh, yeah. You want to... Wait, hold on. Oh, that was so cool. Yeah, you just gotta take it tighter. Like, I'm always afraid I'm gonna hit the wall, but I never do. I haven't hit the wall once yet. But you want to ask what kind of long-term growth I would have at this company, you know? That makes you sound really interested, because, you know, they do not want to hire a job hopper. You know, that's one bad thing about switching jobs a lot. If you have that on your resume, it is harder. It is kind of hard to get hired unless you're like actually an expert in the field, which I'm not. But yeah, you do not want to appear like you're a job hopper in the interview. That's very important. Because they do not want to waste time training someone. Like, why would they do that? It doesn't make sense. So you want to ask what kind of long-term growth I can have with the company. Oh, I think we're getting closer. You know, where would I be in 5 years after working at this company? Are there promotions I could get, you know? That makes you sound interested, and you want to stay for the long haul, which you likely aren't, but you don't want them to know that. Yeah, it's all the interview advice. Well, it's like all the questions I always ask. And you know, there's always like some other tips, like, you know, how to build a better resume. My resume was alright. Just look up like a format online. But yeah, any job seekers out there, I wish you good luck. The market is tough out there right now. Oh, wait, hold on. Man, I just don't know what I'm doing wrong. Hop earlier, maybe? Okay, I finally got it. I forgot to... You have to hold down on the... after the trick right away. That was the first time I got the trick, though. Jeez. Took me a lot of tries. I had to look up like a shortcut guide for this track. And the trick is you want to release the mini turbo early. Like, you want to release the mini turbo and then hop slightly after. I was releasing the mini turbo too late. Because if you have the mini turbo drift while you're on the off-road ramp, for some reason you can't trick. Or like you lose speed or something. I don't know. But having the mini turbo last too long is bad for some reason. I don't know why. It's very odd. But yeah, like stuff like that, like the weird tech. There's just so much weird tech in this game that you have to know about. Like, oh, we released the mini turbo too early, you know, like, oh, jeez. Now I know how to do it. Oh, jeez, okay. Yeah, there, I just, oh, and you had to go more right, because the uphill segment, you go much higher if you hop while going uphill, and the uphill segment is like more right, and I was way too left that time. Is that a bad line? Let's try that again. Oh, and one other job application tip I briefly touched on. This one's a bit more controversial, I guess you could say, but I would recommend that you should lie on your resume, you know? Like, do what you can to get ahead. Like, the job, well, I guess, yeah, the job is not on your side, you know, like HR and like the big company. Oh wait, here we go. Dang it. But yeah, the market is not on your side. You gotta do everything you can to beat the job back, you know? Like, I had an interview like 2 weeks ago, an in-person one. I think I talked about it like in a video. But, you know, in the interview, like, it was an in-person interview, and the guy was literally complaining, like, oh, you know, you'd be surprised how many people don't show up to my interview, you know? They only, like, they reserve a spot and they don't even come. Like, he's complaining about people, like, not showing up. And then this guy literally, like, he was like, this guy, well, not the guy, but the job, like, wait, hold on. Oh! There we go. Hold back, hold back. Finally. Okay, we got it. Hey, he was complaining about people not showing up. And then, you know, it's been like 2 or 3 weeks since the interview, and I think they ghosted my ass. Like, he's literally complaining about people not showing up, and then he just ghosts the people in interviews. Like, really? Like, he doesn't even say, I'm denied. Like, sure, say that I'm denied. He just ghosts me. Like, really? So, yeah, like, these like job recruiters, they do not care, man. They will ghost your ass without a second thought. Dang it. So do what you can to get ahead. But yeah, don't lie about like anything crazy in your resume. Like, lie about stuff that you can talk about in the interview. And that would really help, you know. Oh yeah, and the jobs, they want you to like have like 5 years of experience for an entry-level job, you know? Shit like that. Like, who the fuck is applying to entry-level jobs when they have 5 years of experience? This doesn't make sense, man, you know? So, you know, in this crazy job market, do what you can. I know it's controversial, you know, some people might say it's like, oh, it's unethical. Who cares, man? Who's gonna know? Oh, suckless. Oh, there we go. Barely squeezed it out. Okay. Yeah, release the mini turbo early. That's how you get it. Hit the upper a little bit there. Minus 4.6. Very, oh yeah. Hop over the boost panel. Very good. Very good. All right, let's see. I'm gonna go for the shortcut again. If I want to go at least 2 times, you know? If I get 2 out of 3 times, I think that's a success. Because if I get a 2 for 3, I can start doing it in online, you know, and I'll get better as I play more online. I haven't played online in a long time. I've been doing this time trial series for so long. Let's not fall off here again. Let me brake just a little, just to be sure. There we go. There we go. Yeah, it's just all about releasing the main tipper early. And like, you never figure that out unless someone just tells you about it, or you trial and error it like 1,000 times. Here we go again. But I'm going for the 3 for 3. Can we get the 3 for 3 Shrimless F-Zero shortcut? You're way ahead of PB. So far, oh, well, had a couple mistakes. Oh yeah, I think we hopped over a boost panel earlier. Oh, we don't have coins anymore. Let's not fall off here again. Brake drift just to be safe. There we go. Release early, hop. Oh, no trick? Okay, I don't know why I didn't get a trick there. Whatever, 2 for 3, that's good enough. Let's finish it out. There's soft drifting, and 203.099. That is a new record. Yeah, tomorrow we got Baby Park. That's an interesting one. I guess we'll just be doing some off-road hopping in the track. Not really much to it, but if you like babies, sounds bad, but if you like babies, like the video.